Hey everybody, my name is Terez Paylor. I cover the Kansas City Chiefs for the Kansas City Star. And alongside me is our columnist, Sam Mellinger. We're going to talk a little bit today about the Chiefs' big 17-16 win over the Houston Texans on Sunday. And I think Sam and I both kind of found the usage of Dwayne Bowe pretty interesting. Sam wrote a whole column about it. Sam, just what stuck out to you about the way the Chiefs used Dwayne in this game?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's the first four passes all going his way. And I know that's not designed in the huddle, Bo, I'm coming to you, that kind of thing. But I think there was a definite concerted effort to get him more involved, which, I think to a lot of us that have watched this team all year, that's sort of the untapped production that is left in this offense. The week before, I think this is right, they threw to him 5 times. He had 3 catches and a pass interference call. So there is a lot of production. Good things, will happen when you throw him the ball, especially downfield. He can make plays when he's covered. So that was good to see, to get him more involved, because, if he can be even 90% of what he's been the last few years with inferior quarterbacks to what he has right now, that's going to be a big boost for the Chiefs offense that really needs it. What'd you see from Bo?
I saw a guy that was pretty enthusiastic. He seemed to have some juice, I thought, especially when they tried to get him involved early, try and get him engaged early, and that's a good thing. This is a guy, you and I have both talked to him. This is a guy that's trying to say the right things, pretty obviously. He wants people to know that he's happy with the 7-0 record, and I actually believe he is. I think it's a situation where we all know that the offense has its issues, and they definitely need more big plays. Short of a trade, the easiest place to look is Dwayne Bowe. And this is something I've actually kind of been, thinking about a little bit. Is this the best we're going to see from this guy this year? Like, what do you think is his ceiling? Like, is this the best he'll play this year?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be. And he's not 25 anymore, but he's 29, right?
Right.
He's certainly not so old that the past should be, that he's peaked
Right.
in his career. I don't know that he's going to lead the league in touchdowns like
Right.
he did a few years ago, but he's a big, strong guy. Knows how to use his body to get between the defender and the ball, to come down with it, and can break a tackle or two once he gets it. That's, when you look at how much they're using Jamal Charles, Dexter McCluster can show you little spurts, like the Giants game. He had some good moments this past weekend against the Texans. But as far as just a guy that you can count on, Dwayne Bowe should be that guy. And I think in a lot of ways, Alex Smith's strengths kind of line up with what Dwayne Bowe can give them. So I think that's the most untapped production that they have in the offense.
And one thing I found pretty interesting while doing research for the story I wrote on Bowe over the weekend, in Andy Reid's previous 9 seasons in Philadelphia, a tight end or a running back led his team in catches. This offense is designed to spread the ball around. So they're not necessarily, it's not a wide receiver dominant offense by any stretch of the imagination. So in a lot of ways, the numbers he's posting, you maybe could have predicted, maybe you wouldn't have thought they've been this low, but you would have predicted they would have been maybe in the general area. Mm-hmm. And the wide receiver position for the Chiefs is actually one that gets has been getting a lot of attention, because the offense does need to show signs of improvement. And because of that, there's actually a player coming in this weekend with the Cleveland Browns that I think is kind of on the minds of a lot of Chiefs fans, and Josh Gordon. He's a big guy, about 6'3", has downfield speed, can take the top off the defense. And I think in a lot of ways, this is a guy that could be a really nice complement to Bowe. Donnie Avery's given them some downfield juice, okay? But Josh Gordon's a different kind of guy that way. He's a consistent downfield threat and a really talented guy physically. The thing is, the reports are that the Cleveland wants a second-round pick for the guy. I think John Dorsey said that he's pretty frugal with those picks. I couldn't see the Chiefs giving up a third-rounder for him. And this is just me just talking this. I don't know. I don't know if that's something that the Chiefs would feel comfortable doing. But I think it's something that I would definitely consider, because it would give the offense a little bit more juice. And I think you've written this plenty of times. The offense has to be better if they want to be legit Super Bowl contenders. I don't know if you can win in the playoffs against a team with a great defense with an offense that has this kind of ceiling, right?
Yeah, they don't need to be the Colts offense,
right,
the Broncos offense, whatever. But if they could get to a top 12 offense, certainly in the top half of the league, with the way that the defense is playing, I mean, my gosh, that's not a team that you really want to play. The only thing with Gordon, man, if the Browns are really serious about that, about a second-round pick, that's half of the package they just gave up for their quarterback, right? And John Dorsey, he's used the word stingy. I mean, he wants to protect. He wants to get more draft picks, not less, especially after Alex Smith. So that would be a tough thing. But maybe Cleveland puts that out there. Hey, we'll settle for a fourth or something like that. You never know.
And especially if you're talking about a fourth now, considering the off-field issues of Gordon that have been reported, a few arrests there. If you're talking about a fourth, suddenly, maybe you got to think about that if you're the Chiefs, because again, he does give you the downfield juice. And Sam, you watch the games over again. You watch them with all 22 film, like I do too. Maybe you get a downfield threat like Josh Gordon, but the question is, all right, that's great. So you have the ability to do it. Do you think Alex Smith will feel comfortable throwing him the ball? Do you feel like Alex Smith would be willing and able to take advantage of that?
Not as much as some other quarterbacks in the league, but I think we've seen spurts. There was the play that Donnie Avery got hurt on actually in Tennessee was a beautiful downfield throw from Alex Smith. I mean, I think he's more comfortable with the short and intermediate routes. He's
Absolutely.
And especially the way that the defense is playing, he should be like that.
Exactly.
Because a punt with Tom Bahali and Justin Houston coming on, a punt can win you some games sometimes, especially with Dustin Colquitt, the way he's punting. But if he had more downfield options, I think Alex Smith would be, more comfortable throwing downfield. But, this is not going to be like Ben Roethlisberger circa, 3 years ago or whatever. It's not going to be like that.
I mean, and that's the thing. I think Alex has really shown, if you look at the tape, he'll go downfield, but it's going to be single coverage.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's not going to be throwing, over that cover two shell. He just doesn't. It's going to have to be single coverage. And the thing is, if you did get a downfield threat, to complement Bowe, at that point you got two options, just like the Chiefs' defense with Holly and Houston. You got to block one of them. Well, if you had a second guy up opposite Bowe, well, you're going to have to. One of those guys is going to get covered. It's going to be single covered. So
and there's another part of that too with Anthony Fasano returning to the offense. That softens up the middle a little bit too, and he can be more involved than what he's been.
And actually, I like Anthony Fasano. He's a professional. Like, he's a guy who's a sturdy run blocker, has always been there, but he has really reliable hands. He's not going to run away from anybody, but this is just another solid target in the middle of the field. And I think we both agree that he and McGrath can complement each other in the tight and work in the middle of the field. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
And just one quick thing before we wrap up. We know the Cleveland Browns are coming in this week, and I personally can't wait to see what Gordon's like in person. But what I get to see is kind of going to come down to what his quarterback can do. Brandon Weeden gets a lot of criticism, and it's valid. He hasn't been great, to say the least. The Browns have lost the last two games with him at quarterback. I feel pretty comfortable saying I'm picking the Chiefs to win this week. But, we know this is the NFL, so if you take a team lightly, you can possibly lose. So, Sam, I'm just going to ask you, what would be the chain of events that would need to unfold for the Chiefs to lose to the Browns on Sunday? What would need to happen?
Brian Hoyer makes a miraculous return. Jim Brown makes a miraculous return, and the Chiefs overlook the Browns. I cannot imagine it. If they were playing in Cleveland, then maybe you could come up with another set of events. But this team, Brandon Weeden against that pass rush, I just don't think that's going to be good for him.
I don't think so either. Jim Brown's definitely not walking through that door. So I think we both agree.
They just retired his number, right?
So the Chiefs, it's looking good that the Chiefs will go to 8-0. At that point, you got a tough possible road game at Buffalo. I just think that's a tough place to play. I think it's going to be interesting. I think that'll be an interesting game. But first things first, be interested in watching the Browns this week. You can read up on this upcoming game on our website, kansascity.com. You can follow me at /Terez Paylor. You can follow Sam at /Mellinger. But until next week, I'm Terez. This is Sam. Keep watching, keep reading. Thank you.